Okay, welcome back to the Shane Plays Let's Play series of Serpent in the Staglands. This is part 12. I've actually done some stuff sort of off camera, as it were, between last video and this one. I played around a little bit with the Incantations, which I'll show you here in a moment. It's a part of the game that I've been meaning to get to but haven't, and finally did, and it's pretty cool. I went back to the starting temple, Lumen 410, I think, where the game very first begins, because I was reading and somebody was saying that all those bookshelves that you go through that I did in my first video, uh, and it says, oh, here's what the books are about and etc. If you use aptitudes on those, which are the aptitudes are these uh, linguistics, woodwise, herbology, nobility, harbinger, and philosophy, then you can learn more stuff. And I did, and I got, experience points and all kinds of things. Learned a little bit more. Nothing earth-shattering, but it was neat. I did some selling with a vendor. I uncovered uh, in the town Lumen Targ, I think, that's just south of Lumen Fortin. There was an area like in a field that still had some fog of war that I'd gotten killed by some wolves, and I went back and fought the wolves, and I found a new cave. So we're gonna go do that. And then also I'm back over here because in the first, second, third video, probably second or third, I found this ring of uh, flowers that evidently contains a fairy, but I didn't know how to get it. Now, uh, I probably would have figured this out sooner or later, but I did stumble across. I think I kind of accidentally read it while trying to read something else, and I discovered that it's parasitic orb, which okay, Troweling isn't high enough level yet, or his spells aren't, but I think that Elric is, yes. So he can do parasitic orb, and evidently parasitic orb is what you need to cast in order to get the fairy out of it. So let's see if that's worse. Yes, the arcane shattering powers of your spell weaves through the circle of flowers. The air before you sparks and crackles, and a shimmering aura reveals itself and just as quickly evaporates before your eyes. With the aura dismantled, you can see a tiny, crushed creature lying inert on the ground. With a small measure of caution, Trallin steps forward. You identify the creature as a fairy, crushed nearly beyond recognition long ago. Knowing there's nothing you can do for the lifeless figure, let's see, I can dig a hole in the ground and with a prayer to the spring god, leave it in peace. I can leave it on the ground, unwilling to tamper with magics beyond your knowledge. Or I can toss it in my mouth. Now, when I was reading books earlier in Lumen Fortin, it did say that eating fairies basically gives you magical properties or whatever. So I'm going to do that. It's a little creepy, a little morbid, but by goodness, that's what we're going to do. So the taste is sickening, but you persevere, thinking to yourself only the worst of spicers would have failed to season the creature first, and cursing yourself as a dunce and halfwit. Finally, you swallow the fairy with a strong gulp. The powers of the fairy course through you, and filled with the sudden knowledge that in this moment you can instill a generous gift to anyone you touch, you choose to reach out to myself, of course, Trallin. And I feel that, oh, I don't know what happened, but the party got 500 XP. So looks like Vilhelm is leveled up, which is cool. Now I'm not sure what happened to Trallin. I'm not sure what he got out of that. Something happened. Let's see here. Oh, I got a one stat point that I can put into stats. So I'm assuming that that's what happened. And I'm going to put that into his intelligence because, yeah, potency to spells that curse and deal damage. And so that's where I'm kind of working on with him. So I'm going to do that. So that's what that fairy did. Evidently, it gave me a stat point, which is pretty cool. So let me level up Vilhelm here. And you'll notice that the flowers look different now. Before, the flowers were kind of in bloom, and now they're all wilted and unhappy. So let's go to Vilhelm here. Now, I've been buffing his perception, which, well, not buffing, but increasing. Natural hit chance for spells in combat. And then it looks like I've also been doing his strength, which unlocks combat grades and determines hit damage with all weapons. So, even though he's kind of my backup spellcaster, to hit damage with all weapons, giving a natural bonus to hit damage. You know, he throws stuff. So initial and natural attack speed. Okay, this increases his hit chance for spells in combat. So I'm gonna buff his perception by a point, and I'm gonna buff his dexterity by a point. Now he's got 2 points of skill that I can do here. I don't know if I want to buff one of his spells. His Woodwise is 3. I think I'll leave that there for now. And I finally figured out, I kept Xing out to get back to stuff, but there isn't a back arrow here, which I figured out as once again when I was playing a little bit. I didn't play real long. I played it for about 30 minutes without recording it because I was going back over ground that I pretty much already done. I didn't think that would be interesting to watch for other people. Maybe I was wrong. Alright, I could buff up his spells, which I probably won't do that. And let's take a look at his skills here. Now, he's got already Explosive Trap, which adds non-blockable explosive damage on top of physical damage when he throws elixirs. So that's nice to have. I think I'm going to buff that one because it's just too darn nice. I still can't do anything over here. Let's see. Rapid draw. Train with your missile weapon to be able to loose arrows and bolts quicker. I guess that doesn't apply to throwing elixirs. No shield equipped, any weapon. Utilize your whole body as a... I don't think I want to do that. Slayer. Agile fighting. Stand your ground combat by taking a defensive stance to increase your chance of evading foes completely. War cry. Rally. Fortify any weapon. Hold your ground against any maelstrom of magical assaults. And endure polymorphic state. Focus your arcane will when polymorph to remain in your altered form longer. Okay, so I'm going to buff that up. Oh, I can go up to level 4. Huh. Let me go down and read what level 4 would do. How far up can I hit? Skill level 3. 1d3. Okay, so I'm going to go up to 3 on that. Critical flight. I don't know what else I want to do with him. Quick strike. Training for speed over input. Your weapon of choice will slash and parry with a swiftness. See, he mainly does these, what do you call it, elixirs, so I don't know if that's going to qualify or not. Your heralding increases the morale of those around you, invigorating them at the beginning of any battle. Warcry begins its effects after your first melee or ranged attack. Plus 1d1 to physical damage skill mod roll to each companion and yourself. Duration 5 seconds. I guess that stuff could start adding up. Is that Warcry? I've already got Rally on Catalina here. That gives the armor class. Yeah, I'm going to give him a point of Warcry. I like that. So, alright. So he's all leveled up, and Trowling got a stat point, which is nice. Now let me show you how the incantations work. It's nighttime, so I'll do one that does a torch, or a torch-like effect. Now, another thing I want to show you, because there's an incantation, or the linguist words of power I want to get to, but this rune blood, a vial of thick, murky blood collected from the Book of Runes in Lumen Fortin. I have no idea what it does, but there was that book that you find in the room that you wake up in at the beginning of the game. And you reach out and you feel kind of weird about it, and when you touch the pages, your finger starts bleeding, and you can draw on it, and it leaves like a little trail of blood that gets kind of absorbed into the pages. Well, I was playing around with different shapes, and then I was like, oh, well, let me do a circle, because I'm evidently a moon god, a little G god from the moon, so let me draw a circle for the moon. And I did several little figures, and nothing happened, and I drew that circle. And all of a sudden the book closed up and like blood oozed out, and I used that vial to collect the blood. So I'm assuming it was because I drew that circle, but I guess it could be just because I drew so much stuff. Maybe there was too much blood in the pages, but I'm pretty sure it was because of the circle I drew. I have no idea what this rune blood is used for. But when we look at the incantation words of powers, so if you want to curse an enemy, you begin your incantation with the word Vrosk. Or to change the environment, where this says to warp the environment, you begin with Main, M-A-N-E, M-A-E-N. So if there was somebody named Bob, and I wanted to slow them down, I would write Vrosk, Vite, Bob. All right? Or I could write Vrosk, Own, Bob, and it would show me Bob's statistics. If I do Main to expect my environment and then Lumen, then I'll get Torchlight. Rife, so if I did Vrosk, Rife, Bob, then I could pickpocket Bob, and etc. Now there's some stuff, like Vic, dull an enemy's weapon so that it hits as though made of wood, etc. There's some other stuff. Trock, manipulate the stats of a foe. Some of the stuff I haven't played with, and some stuff you don't have enough experience. I guess you get experience as you use incantations. But so Seer, S-E-A-R, that would speed the day-night cycle. So I would say Main Seer, but I don't have enough experience with that. I'll show you here in a moment. Now Lumen is to simulate torchlight environment, so I'll show you that one here in a second. And then I'll show you some other incantations later. But I'm going to choose Trowling. I'm going to open up the incantation book here, and I'm going to say Main Lumen. Oh, incantation failed because I misspelled it. Lumen. And then this kicks off, and then I get like a little torch effect. Trowling's incantations creates a torch-like light. This is not a spell, this is an incantation, which is just another part of the game. Now, if I wanted to try to advance the day-night cycle, then it's Main Seer, and it's going to tell me I don't have enough experience. Yeah, Trowling and I have an experience or enough skill for this incantation. So, not quite sure how it all comes together yet. Still kind of figuring it out, but that's neat. I don't think I've quite seen a game that had like regular spells that you could cast and then also like an incantation thing like this. So neat. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quick save because I've, bumped up some abilities and stuff. But I also want to, I'm going to right click on this rune blood and see what happens. Nothing. Okay, so I didn't want to do that until I quick saved. It must be used for something, but darn if I know what. So, okay. So let's head back to Lumen, and I'll show you a few more incantations, and then we're going to go explore this cave that I discovered. And then after that, I guess we'll finally get out of... I thought we were about to head out of Lumen this video and start exploring the great big wide world. And then I discovered that cave, which I had no clue was there. So, what can you do? So I guess I don't need to buy torches anymore. I'm assuming because I have this incantation, main Lumen, main. I guess I'm saying that main. I don't know. It's Latin, I assume. I'm thinking Lumen is Latin for light, like illuminate. We're just heading on down to Lumen. Come on, fellas. Let's go to Lumen. The craftsmen of Rumen and Quorum are known for their rare but powerful magic wares. Sorry about that. Sometimes this game sort of locks up when it's loading. Don't quite get the loading times with this game. That's something that's brought up in a lot of reviews. I'm not a developer, so I don't understand everything, and I don't pretend to. But based on what I understand of the complexity of games, I'm not sure why the loading times take as long as they do with this game. But it gets brought up a lot. So I'm going to go down and find. There was a kind of a farmer guy or a local town guy who I've been talking to, and I'm gonna use him to kind of show how incantations work. When I was first doing it, I was experimenting on the constable, but in this case, I wanted to talk to him anyway, so I don't know any gossip now. Okay, so he had said if I find anything about the well to come talk to him. Well, I mean, I've gone underneath the well and everything, and it doesn't seem to trigger any new conversation options with him. So his name is Jacob. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to detect strengths. Okay, so I'm going to say Vrosk Ohm Jacob. Vrosk Ohm Jacob. And it tells me that Jacob has 17 hit points, a weapon that hits every 3.1 seconds, 0 armor, and little experience. Alright, so let's see what else I can do. I think there's a way to curse. I'm going to try Rife. I don't think I've tried this one yet. So Vrosk, Rife, Jacob. And let's see what happens. Trowling did not have enough skill for this incantation. Okay. Now in my little scroll here that gives me more stuff, there's a thing about armor class. Yeah, Armura. Let's try Armura. Vrosk, Armura, Jacob. Well, let's see if that lowers his armor class. Okay, Troweling's Incantations curses Jacob's armor class by 4 for 10 seconds. So, you know, that's kind of how incantations work, and we'll mess with them more as the game progresses. It's neat. I like it. And now that I've done that one, it looks like it added it if it wasn't already there. So as you do them, I think it adds it to your, you know, to your little list here of ones that you know, quote unquote, even though we have some on another scroll. It says, incantation must include prefix rune, true name of individual, and action rune. Curses become more powerful with more skill. And I don't know if skill comes with as you use it, or if it's based on an attribute or what. So I'm going to show you one more thing, and then we're going to go to this cave. And there's a little bit more dialogue with the constable because you know, the prisoner escaped. So and evidently he doesn't suspect us. Now another thing I'm going to do, because I'm getting quite tired of all these ears using up all my inventory, is I'm going to drop these ears. So, you know, there may be a use for them later, but I haven't found one yet. They were in the constable's office. I guess they were proof of, you know, bounties or something like that. But right now, all they're doing is using up my inventory space, best I can tell. Now, the way this game works, I've seen in a tooltip, and I've seen evidence as well as the game has unfolded. When you drop something on the ground, it just stays there. So I can come back later, and it won't be gone. And another thing I've noticed on the map, if you've dropped items, or if there's items to pick up, the map will show a little shiny. So that's nice. But I'm going to make a note over here on my notes that I've dropped a bunch of ears by the constable. So the reason it's going quiet is because I've clicked off the game. Lumen Targ. Let's see here. I dropped several ears on the ground by constable. Okay, because you never know. I could forget that. All right, now I'm going to have Trowelin talk to the constable because he has Harbinger, and the constable seems to respond to that. I'm gonna say, hey, what happened to your prisoner? And he's gonna say, that little filth escaped. I keep a vigilant watch, always post a couple of guards at night, but somehow that whelp got out. Now I'm an open-minded man, but I don't like those natives one bit. Reeking scoundrels probably perform some dirty occult on themselves, which is half true. I helped him perform it so he could escape. I can say, I don't know, they seem all right. You say, hang around these parts long enough, you'll see. Emerald Metalis is swarming with them. They don't keep a tight ship like we do. And we're headed to Emerald Metalis, I think, to meet, is it Erlane, the guy who's helping us at the very beginning? His brother, I believe we have to go to Emerald Metalis. So good to know, farewell. All right. So, and now let's go find this cave that I'm telling you about. Hello, Ox. You know, if you remember, if you're watching this whole series, all three of you, I appreciate you very much. But anyway, if you're watching this series, a few videos back, I was kind of exploring around up here, and some wolves rocked me. And I came up here, and I was like, let me just go clear out these wolves, you know. And I was like, I don't think anybody will really want to watch that. They've seen the fight a few times. The only difference was I won it this time. And then I went up in here as I was exploring around, and lo and behold, there's a cave. So I'm going to save real quick, and in we go. All right, into the cave. The craftsmen of Lumen and Quorum were known for their rare but powerful magic wares. Alright, so here we are in a cave of some sorts. And this just, something about this intro just really reminds me of Darklands. Now something over here lit up. Oh, that's the area to leave. Okay. Darklands is, of course, a computer role-playing game from the 90s that helped inspire this game. But this just really reminds me of Darklands, something about it. What's coming? A shroomer. Okay, we definitely have faced shroomers before. So let's take this nasty shroomer out. Got more shroomers coming in. Okay, let's get everybody on this guy. I like Elric's whip. I think that's pretty cool. Alright. So let's pick up some shroomer fat. Why? I don't know why that's... I was trying to drag it, but I guess I was trying to grab the shroomer fat and drag it over here into my quick slot, but the UI didn't work that way. There's more enemies in sight. Looks like a bunch. We got a shroomer, and a shroomer. Lots of shroomers. That's alright. We can always use more shroomer fat because it's pretty good for healing. We like it. Okay, her rally just kicked off. But Vilhelm's war cry hasn't kicked off. I hope that it kicks off from from throwing elixirs, because if not, I wasted that spell on him, or not that spell, but that skill. All right. There's a ton of... I picked up a lot of shroomers, so I'm going to drag this over. Oh, uh-oh. There we go. 8. I was thinking my quick slots were messing up again. I've had a lot of problems with quick slots in this game, which is a bummer, because it's kind of an important part of the game. Yeah, my lovely wife just walked in. Hello, lovely wife. I have no idea what I'm doing. Huh. Is that a body? Uh-oh, there's an imp. A riddle imp. Those are pretty cool. Alright, what is this? Corpse has been mangled beyond recognition. Huh. Wonder if there's somebody from town missing or anything like that. I'm still going to have Vilhelm use Woodwise on the corpse. Nope. Okay. So let's go talk to the riddle imp. Twitchy, warm and squishy. I eat one fleshy one today, but my friend is hungry, or my friend's is hungry too. That's dreadful. Do you know how to get in this door? I'm no one's snack. I'll say, do you know how to get in this door? The first fleshy one has key, but my friend took it flapped away. Do not worry your little brain, fleshy one, for it'll soon be in my belly. Teeth of the god, can you talk of nothing else? I'll rip out your belly and use it as a gem purse. So evidently his friend ran off with the key, which is kind of like the dish running off with a spoon, except completely different. Take this little riddle imp out. Okay. So, first of all, I'm going to kick off healing on him And then I'm going to have him eat a couple of... See? Dang it. This is what I cannot use my quick slots. Such a bad bug. So I need to move him out of the way. Okay, it's dead. All right. Not being able to use my quick slots is a real problem. Got to be able to figure this out. And now I can't even drag stuff out of there. It's a real problem. All right, what else did we get? We got a white gem and a white gem chip. Okay, so but first of all, let's get him healing. Heal thyself, Trowelin. All right, now that was a pretty good heal. Looks like we need just a little bit on Ren. And a little bit on Catalina. You can't really tell, but when you look at the numbers here, you see they're off just a smidge. And those 1 or 2 hit points can really make the difference in combat. So, a real shame. See, and I can't use my incantation book. Whew, boy, that's annoying. And I can't drag it. Ooh, boy, that is annoying. All my healing is I'm locked out of for the moment. I left a note or a comment on the developers blog or their forums on their website, and this door appears to be locked or blocked by an unseen force. Okay, so they're basically saying you can't get in. So I'm gonna have to go find this other imp and get the key. Oh man, that's annoying. Maybe I can make it to the dungeon without needing this stuff. Yeah, looks like we have shroomers. Get your shroomers here. I ain't afraid of no shroomer. Yeah, it looks like Vilhelm's elixirs are doing splash damage now because that shroomer was getting hurt. His buddy was getting hurt, not just the main one that he was throwing elixirs at. I think that's what happened there, so that's cool. Alright, let's get a little healing on Ren. And then we'll keep moving. I just love how that green looks, that spell. Very pretty. Scintillatingly brilliant. Alright. What else is going on around here? Let's go find this other imp. And get us a key so we can get through that door. At least I think that's what I'm understanding is happening. Oh, lots of an imp, but not a riddle imp. So here's the other riddle imp. So I'm thinking that's who we're gonna have to fight. He said his buddy ran off with the key. So I'm gonna move my guys back here. And let's get everybody on. Let's take this riddle imp first. See how this is gonna go. Okay, an enemy is dead. So we dropped the riddle imp's dead. Yep, there's the key. Alright, let's get on this other imp. Trying to keep an eye on everybody's health. Okay, that's that other imp took him out. Okay, he's unhurt. And he was running. But he didn't run fast enough. sorry. Getting that healing going. Alright, everybody's all healed up. Let's see, we got a key, edible heart, emeralds, edible heart. I love it. Alright, I know I can get in that, well, I'm assuming I can get in that door now, but in the interest of exploring everything, I'm going to keep exploring. Alright, fellas and women. There's 2 women. I want to be inclusive. I'm an inclusive new millennium guy. Sometimes it's hard to tell where the paths are here. Imps. I ain't afraid of no stinking imps. All I want is that XP. Bring me that tasty XP. You are flying bags of XP. Ripe for the taking. I need to back Wilhelm up. He's kind of taking a beating. Got to have some scrackage. Alright. Some scrackagination. Nothing like strategy. And let's get everybody healed up. And we'll go take care of this other imp over here, or whatever this thing is. Alright, everybody's healed up. You little imp. I wish they had a minx we could fight, so I could say, you little minx. Why can I not? Am I full up on emeralds? What's going on here? Okay, I guess I picked them up. Should probably save fairly soon, just in case I get rocked by something. Oh, I know I'm getting into the flow of this game now and getting more confident because I didn't even heal up before I charged into this next fight. Not that I needed to. But now I think I should, just to be safe. Okay, let me tab. Okay, there we go. You heal them, you heal him, and you heal him. Okay. And I'm going to save just because. This is a pretty big area, little dungeon here. I don't mind clearing it out because I do want the XP and the loot. The loot! Gotta have the loot. Oh, one dude jumped on Wilhelm back here. Everybody, why is this guy gotta be jumping on Wilhelm? Why is it gotta be like that? Or Vilhelm? Ah, there we go. Starting to get some leveling going on. That's what I'm talking about. But I'm going to wait on everybody to level. I've got 2 more people need to level, and then I'll get on that. That way I'll do everybody at the same time. Vilhelm seems to be ahead of the pack leveling. Everybody else is pretty close. I don't know how he got so far ahead. I don't know if the game started that way or if I did something with him. Maybe traps, disarming traps or something. I'm not sure why he got so far ahead. Fog of war. I'll clear your fog of war. Can I go across here? I can. What do you know? Alright, let me look at the old map. See what's going on. Where'd we come in at? I don't know if this is fog of war here or not. I don't know if I can go this way or not. I think this is kind of the way we came in. Dead shroomers everywhere. So I guess we'll go to this door. Okay. So let's save. And let's go in this door. I guess we can go in this door now. Huh. What the heck is this? I don't even know. I have no idea where I'm at. Well, let me level up, and then we'll save here and do another video because we're already at 40-something minutes. So I don't know what I expected on the other side of that door, but it wasn't this. So still a fun little dungeon or underground area or whatever. I guess a dungeon to check out. So who can level here? Let's get these people a little bit more spread out. Troweling and Elric. So Troweling, let's level you up there, buddy. Intelligence. What does perception do again? Hit chances roll. Okay. So that's a natural hit chance for spells in combat. Unlocks spell grades and adds potency to spells that curse and deal damage. Increases initial cast speed for spells and natural attack speed. I think I need to do a little bit of dexterity actually to increase his speed. I think I'm going to give him a little bit more intelligence and a little bit more dex. I think that's what I'm going to do with him. There's behind the... Hold on. I'm clicking where I don't... You know, this tooltip's popping up, but back here is where you click on to make those go up, which is why they went up even though I was clicking on the help text. So I increased intelligence and dexterity. I like that. And I'm going to go here. Linguistics is 2 and Harbinger is 2. I'm going to increase his Harbinger because evidently that helps with people following him or being open to him, something like that. I'm still not absolutely sure, but it seems helpful for him being the leader type, for him to be the Harbinger. So I spent 1 point there, and then let me go into the magic here. Yes, and now he can do this. He can go into the grade 2 spells. So I can't... Parasitic Orb. Cast a magical orb at target location which siphons a target's willpower and any trace of their innate magical barriers. It can shatter magical barriers, which is how we freed up that fairy. Siphon poisons. There are many poisons that can decay even the most hardy of adventurers' organs. Crippling Ray. Cripple your target by casting a withering ray at them, debilitating their bodies to that of an elder. Your ray will seize every one of their vitals, so no matter how strong-willed they are, they will break before you. 5 seconds to cast. Target stat decrease. Takes 8 seconds to proc. I don't know. Morph into bats. That's pretty cool. A gang of large bats with unparalleled speed. So it's the morphing spell of choice for both engaging and disengaging battles. Ethereal weapon. Hallucinogen. While the abomination... Conjure an abomination inside a target's mind. While the abomination writhes and tears within their mind and memories, horrors lash out from the corner of their mind's eye, creating dreadful images of past mistakes, etc. And it does magic damage. Shimmering scales. Imbue a target's skin with dense shimmering scales. The metallic exoskeleton grants additional protection. You know, one thing they don't have is just straight up sort of like, you know, offensive spells. Like where you just blast somebody. Now this morph into fiend is neat. Polymorph a Torgan into a fiend, transmuting its physical appearance. I've used that with Elric, and sometimes if you morph somebody into a fiend, their companions will attack them, which is nice. Eclipse. Illuminating a target with the moon's unyielding light, you can magically mirror the destruction by transmuting it into a healing beam that is reflected back at any companions. The more destruction your target does, the more healing is reflected back to your party. I like that. I don't know what to buff him into, though. Ethereal weapon. After summoning the necessary magical energy to safely keep the blade intact, a sorcerer can emit a long ethereal blade to wield. Huh. Ooh, strangling vines. Hatch a quick growing seedling that magically erupts and grows to massive sizes below the surface of your targeted ground. It does a little magic damage. It has something to do with their dodge. Movement speed is reduced. Full intelligence to hit chance roll. I'm not quite sure. So I've got Fearful Light, which is pretty cool. Foul Creep. Throughout your enemy's creeping corruption. While you hold the spell, it will continue to work its foul magic. Which is, I kind of like this one. Arcane Shield. Spell resistance. Yeah, I don't know where to put this in. I like Foul Creep. Fearful Light's pretty nice. Radiant Stave is nice. I don't know what to put this into. What does Foul Creep do again? Magic damage and reducing the target's foul. I'm going to put a point into Foul Creep. Alright. And that is everything that Troweling can spend. And so now let's go to Elric, who has leveled up. Oh, he's getting quite good with a whip, as you see here. Alright, I think I'm giving him a cult because, yeah, he buff blocks and shields. And then intelligence unlocks spell grades, perception, natural hit chance. I think I'm going to buff his because the initial cast speed for spells. So I'm going to give him a point of... I'm going to give him a point of dexterity and a point of occult. Because I want to buff up how quickly he could throw spells, and then his occult is stuff that buffs or protects the party, and that's kind of the role that I'm putting him in. Now for this, I've got him on philosophy and nobility, so I'm going to bump those both up one. I'm not going to buff his spells this time. Okay, so I think he is done. Yes, okay. So thanks so much for watching. I'm going to save it here, and then we'll explore whatever this is. I don't even know where we're at. This will finish part 12 of the Shane Plays Let's Play series of Serpent in the Staglands. And look forward to part 13 when we explore whatever the heck this is. I have no idea where we are. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a comment on YouTube. Give it a thumbs up. That helps me out. And don't forget to check out my blog at shaneplays.com, which also has archives of my radio show, weekly Geek Talk radio show, live radio show out of Little Rock, Arkansas, that after that goes out as a podcast. So thanks so much for watching.